Susie horks boogers in her sleep. So please record that.
You want 2 scoops of Haagen-Dazs French vanilla boobies.
He's not the Messiah. He's a very naughty boy. This is the morning stream.
All right, we're back, everybody. We're back. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Nope.
Hey, do you recognize this voice? Tell me if you can tell who this is, okay? Here we go. I'm play it again.
You want 2 scoops of Haagen-Dazs French vanilla boobies.
Do you know who that is?
Sounds like John Jagger making a voice.
Nope. It's oh, no, I forgot her name. Gosh dang it. Oh, what's her name?
Betty White?
Maya Rudolph. That's who it is.
Maya Rudolph. Okay.
She makes me laugh so hard in that stupid Big Mouth cartoon on Netflix.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Because you're normally not a big Maya Rudolph fan.
No, I don't like live action movies where she's like, you know, she's like the dumb friend of the hot chick who's looking for the dude. You know what I mean? Like she's always like somebody's roommate or something. I think she's just miscast, but she's killing it as a voice in this cartoon.
That's cool.
Which, by the way, that cartoon, do not let your kids watch Big Mouth. Do not let your children watch it. Okay? I don't care how even old they are. Big Mouth is a dirty, dirty cartoon. She's really good in it. Anyway.
Putting it on my Netflix list right now.
It's a very dirty comedy. It's so dirty. I mean, it's really funny. It's Nick Kroll and John Mulaney and those guys making a thing. And it's,
oh, really? Oh, well, then I'm absolutely putting it on my list.
You should probably watch it because it's really funny, but it is dirty.
That sounds a little more up my alley than the what was it, Emily? No, what was the
Hilda? No, you should watch Hilda. Hilda's fantastic. Hilda's great.
I don't have kids.
It doesn't matter.
I kind of do.
You don't need kids.
I do have a kid.
You do have a kid, but you don't need kids. Hilda's amazing whether you have kids or not.
All right, I'll watch an episode of Hilda, and then I'll watch an episode of Big Mouth, and we'll see which one stays in my list.
Okay.
How's that?
All right. Sidian says, actually, I would encourage parents to let their adolescent kids watch it. No.
Really?
No. You watch some of that show, and then you tell me if you think your kid should watch it. There's no way. Not a freaking chance. Sidian, what kind of father is Sidian?
Okay, a lot of people saying, just watch Hilda, Brian.
Yeah, Hilda is amazing.
Fox Walks.
Yeah.
Fog Walk.
Hilda is magical.
Okay.
It's not for kids. I mean, it's kids can watch it, but I wouldn't say it's for kids only. It's fantastic.
Okay.
All right. What are we doing here? We are going to do things. And what things are those? Oh, we're gonna add. We're gonna get Schleicher. What are you wearing? What are you doing? Why are you wearing those?
Trying to read the chat room.
Oh,
because I got like 8 people's names wrong there, and I'm like, I better put my readers. These are. It's like if I'm working on like cleaning up some fine detail on a 3D model.
Yeah, those work great for that.
These are great.
Yeah, they look good on you too.
I got them at Michael's.
I think they look okay on you. I think they're kind of a very studious look to them. I think it's all right. Yeah. I have to wear those once in a while just for like you say, a little fine detail on something.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, we're old. That's how it is. Old.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm owning it.
You got to own your age. Because there's nothing you can do about it. You're going to have it whether you want it or not.
Speaking of old, let's bring in Steven Schleicher.
He knows what old's about. He's right here with us, man. All right, here's his thing.
Steven.
Oh, look at this, everybody. It's Steven Schleicher all the way from Hays, Kansas. Steven, welcome and hello.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Brian.
Oh,
good morning.
Nice to have you here. So,
Brian, are you on a Mac?
He is.
I am on a Mac.
Yeah.
You know, if you hold down the control key and scroll in, it'll zoom the screen up for you.
Oh, I could do that, yeah.
It's actually is it control? Yeah, you're right. There it goes. Here, chat. I can show them, actually.
That's really old person mode.
Yeah, this is my mom's
mode.
I
do it all the time.
It's like, I can't read these notes. I'm going to zoom in.
I do forget about that. It's like, I think about it in... oh, it doesn't work with mine. Hold on, control?
No, it's, control. You have to turn it on if you don't have it on.
Oh, I don't have that feature on.
Yeah.
I don't have that function turned on in my personal computer device.
Hey, speaking of old guys in haze, let's talk to you. Hey, so
You're not wrong. I mean,
Majorspoilers.com, of course, is where Stephen hails, and it's a great place to go check out your daily dose of comic news and movies and all kinds of TV stuff and rad things. But we come bearing slightly bad news.
uh-oh.
Turns out that Titans show is not really all that great.
It depends, really. I watched it last night or on Saturday night.
And this is F
and
Batman, right? Just to make sure, the F Batman deal.
This is the F Batman one, and so I'm going to put everything in context. If you are a hardcore Teen Titans, New Teen Titans, Marv Wolfman, George Perez fan, you're probably not going to like this.
Yeah.
If you are a fan of the Teen Titans animated and Teen Titans Go animated series, this is way more adult than this. If you're someone who enjoys the CW Arrowverse series, and if you're someone who maybe kind of like the Suicide Squad, I think you're going to like this. And here's the reason why, because Jeff Johns and Greg Berlanti are both behind the Titans series. So it does crank up the violence quite a bit more. There are some violent words and some naughty words being used in here, specifically the F Batman thing. But I didn't have a problem with it. I did not hate it. I think they pushed it far enough away from the source material that it feels like it's brand new.
Yeah.
I'm about 30 minutes into it, and I'm excited to finish it up. I mean, obviously, it's got a very strong focus, this first episode, on Robin and Raven. A little bit of Starfire in there, but you're not getting much. At least I haven't gotten much of her story yet. But it almost feels like they're saying, "Oh, see what they're doing on Netflix? We can totally do that, but maybe with a little bit of CW." Because
that is the comment that I made. Is it feels like they are really trying to channel Daredevil in this show.
Yes,
and
I mean, there's a point that Robin takes some thug's head and pushes his face across a broken glass, like a broken a windshield that's been broken out, or a window that's been broken out.
Jeez.
Like, oh my gosh.
So in the context of that F Batman scene, Brian, now that you've seen it, it's in a big fight, and people are like, "Oh, Batman doesn't kill, Batman doesn't kill," and then Robin just brutally destroys these guys. He doesn't kill them. But at the end, he's walking away, and he's like, F Batman, right? So it's almost like he's got these issues that he is trying to deal with, and he's not just saying, F Batman, I'm going to do this. He's literally, F that poop.
You don't think anybody got killed with his little
no, in fact, I think in one of the news reports later, that you see on the TV show, I think they say something about there was no one killed in the incident.
Gotcha. Okay.
So no Beast Boy yet? Is he coming later?
He is in there. Brian just hasn't hit that point.
Okay.
I haven't gotten to him yet.
It's like literally a 5-minute scene and it's done.
The Beast Boy in some of this early screenshot stuff they released, he has a bigger head than everyone else in that cast. And I don't mean like he's cocky. I mean, physically, his head is bigger. Look at this, chat. Look at that head. That has a big monster head. These all have little tiny normal heads. He has a great big fat head for some reason. Anyway,
for those of you wondering what happened to Sherilyn Fenn, I mean, I guess if you saw the Twin Peaks return this last year, then you know. But she's the mom in this too for a while.
Oh, that's cool. So people can get this first episode for free, right? Like some Yahoo thing?
I don't know if you can get it for free or not. It's part of the DC Universe streaming service, which is the $9.99 a month or the $79.99 a year. If you're an international person outside the United States, Titans will come to Netflix, but they haven't announced exactly when. I think a lot of people were thinking day and date release, but it may be in a couple of weeks.
I really like that. This is what DC has set up. If you're a kid and you're watching Teen Titans Go, you're like, it's the best cartoon. It's super fun. All right, this is great. And then you get a little older and you're like, I need something a little harder. So then you just watch the regular Teen Titans. And then you're like, I need something even harder. Okay, you get the comics, and then you start reading some of that. And then you're like, I'm all grown up now. What are you going to give me? And they give you this.
I've said this before. Warner Brothers and DC have probably the most flexible property in the Teen Titans, and it's one that could potentially be their biggest moneymaker because they can slot this for any audience.
Well, it's fascinating to see that this is even a thing. So check it out, I guess. Is there anything else on that app? They have all their animated stuff on there, or what's the deal?
I haven't dug into it that much.
All the Superman movies and then comics you can read. Like
Oh, you can actually read
it's a combo
comics.
it's like a combo of the Marvel Unlimited and what the Disney thing is going to be offering as far as all the Marvel movies.
Okay,
probably.
I'm now interested more than I was before, because I would like to.
It's supposed to be a one-stop shop for everything Disney or DC. Sorry.
DC, yeah. And then does Marvel offer? They don't do that. I mean, they don't have it like a Marvel app. Yeah, I wonder if they ever will.
2019 Disney streaming service.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the comic. Yeah, Marvel Unlimited does all your comics, and then the Disney Online will do all your.
Yeah, but this idea that you're just paying one thing for all of it is kind of interesting to me.
It's very interesting. I mean, it's very.
So just the comics are not. They're going to be a rotating list, so it's not like completely like Unlimited. They have a selection of stuff that will rotate in and out as the years go on.
Yeah, I'm behind on all my comic stuff. I need to get back. Comic Dorks coming back, everybody. 2018. Get ready for it. All right, excellent. Also, Chuck Wendig fired by Marvel for potty mouth tweets. Explain this, because it seems like they should go work at DC, where they're all into the potty mouth right now.
Well, Chuck Wendig has been writing a lot of Star Wars stuff. He's written a couple of books for Lucasfilm, and he has been working on the Shadow of Vader and some other Star Wars projects over at Marvel. In one of his Star Wars comics, he introduced some LGBTQ characters, and of course, a certain set of fandom just wouldn't have any of that, and so they started trolling him and attacking him online. And he is someone who does not believe that you should back down for any reason. And he is someone who doesn't have a problem using the F word or other words in order to express his opinions on things. And in the past, he says, this is to him, that Lucasfilm had kind of told him, hey, we don't have a problem with the fact that you're being inclusive and we understand you're being attacked on stuff. But then on Friday, he was contacted by his Marvel editor who said, we want you off the comic that you're currently writing, and the one that we just announced at New York Comic Con. You're off of that. Yeah. And he really didn't have a who is firing me beyond the editor of the Star Wars comics. But it basically came down to you're using a potty mouth, and we don't like that, and you need to be more civil.
But don't they have some kind of like deal ahead of time? They know this guy. Like even looking at his blog where he talks about his firing, his menu. Here are his menu choices, by the way, on his website. Blog, books, holy shit, free stories. Where's Wendig? Wait, who the hell is Chuck? Like, he's obviously a little irreverent. They probably knew this going in. Why are they all of a sudden getting all pearl clutchy over him? That bugs me.
Yeah, it really should, because it does create this chilling effect of, if you want to work for XYZ company, any company, then you got to watch your social media stuff, even though he is not a full-time employee of Marvel. He's a freelancer. And so that brings up this bigger question of, does the company that you're freelancing for have the right to tell you what you do outside of your work? Unfortunately, comics is not unionized, and so that may be part of something that could be used to change some of these policies. But I don't know. Should you stand up your trolls? According to Marvel, it depends on how you're approaching that subject.
I don't know. I feel like they.
I mean, Scott. I mean, your tweets get rather political. What if Blizzard came to you and said, "Scott, we're no longer having you come and speak at our conferences anymore because of your politics"?
I mean, they could, I guess, but well, right now they couldn't because I don't do any political stuff in there. But they could go like, right. 9 years back. Well, first of all, that'd be Blizzard would be that would be really weird for them, because they've got people working for them who are far more that way than I am, that say stuff on social media all the time.
This is kind of that same example of what Marvel is doing, is taking someone who does occasional work for them or favors for them, and is saying, hey, we want to control what you do and say.
Yeah, what bums me out about it is, well, a lot of things bum me out about it, but this is a little like the James Gunn thing.
Oh, it's totally like this.
It's like, you know what you're getting into there, Disney, when you hire certain people, and if you're cool with it when you hired them, why are you not now? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Feels like a step too far. It is Disney. I get that. They're going to have a different approach. But as they acquire more and more of the world, as they become this giant behemoth that owns everybody, they're going to have to think about that more. Like, I just don't think it's this is why I don't think I'm not 100% sure about this, and maybe they still do it under the Fox label, but like, does Deadpool even stand a chance? in this new environment?
And went to Disney World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know,
probably.
man.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, at one point, Disney used to have Touchstone, and they used to have, Icon Pictures, and what was their other one? Hollywood Pictures, which were all for their harder PG-13 and R-rated stuff. Those have since shut down, essentially. So maybe not. Maybe they're going to say, hey, 20th Century Fox is the place where we can run our R-rated stuff. If you look at what's going on with Marvel Comics or Star Wars Comics at Marvel, they do a lot of the mainstream stuff. But for some reason, Marvel can't figure out a way to sell Star Wars comics to kids. So you go over to IDW Publishing, and they have a bunch of Star Wars Adventures comic books that are geared towards a younger reader. And right now, IDW is running a fantastic Star Wars Adventures Tales of Vader's Castle weekly series through the month of October, which is nothing but horror stories. So, maybe Disney needs to figure out how they want to market and which of their brands, Marvel, 20th Century Fox, etc., how are those brands going to house those areas that they may have issue with.
Right. Well,
so on the plus side, at the start of this segment, you made note about, hey, James Gunn, all right? Well, James Gunn, depending on who you're listening to, may have been hired by Warner Brothers to come in and start doing some Suicide Squad movie work.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought that was a done deal. Not a done deal? Or
no one has come out officially and said anything.
Okay. Well, if he
No,
does,
but I love that Batista immediately said, "I'll go with you, man. Whatever you need me to do, I'll be your dude. Need Bane? I'll be your Bane."
Yeah, you need Bane. You know what? Just recast him as Killer Croc and just put some makeup on him, and he can be Killer Croc.
Right. He can even keep the green. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's actually good news for that franchise, because I think that first movie had all kinds of issues. But I think they could. That'd be cool. But whatever. Look, my problem isn't so much that, like, if you say a bunch of dumb stuff on social media, it's kind of on you for saying it. Like, you're putting it out in the public, so expect some flack at some point if you're saying stupid stuff that's detrimental to your career. I totally get that. I just think Marvel/Disney setting themselves up to be kind of draconian, man. Like, so the guy F-bombs on Twitter, so does everyone except me, I guess. I never F-bomb on Twitter, but I guess I don't know. I don't know. It's a brave new world we live in, and it's not all that brave sometimes.
If people want some further guidance on this, go and look at the chilling effect the FCC has had on radio and television broadcasts in the 50s and in the late 70s and early 80s, and you can kind of see that in a lot of other different business environments.
Yeah, and also, I think I just want to make this clear, and the chat room seems to agree, Batista would make a pretty good Bane. If they had to recast Bane, that's your guy.
Totally. Yeah. Well, I don't see Tom Hardy jumping back into that role for any reason.
Yeah. So there
Not
you
that
go.
there is any reason, but
yeah. The other, and I haven't read this. This is the other thing, is I'm sort of looking at this without knowing much of the details. I haven't looked at Wendick's actual Twitter rant, so I don't know what it says.
Yeah, in the actual Twitter rant, he's basically saying there's no need to be civil when people are coming at you and threatening your life, etc.
Oh, I see.
oh, jeez.
And, so
Wow.
And to, F that poop kind of stuff.
F that poop.
F that poop.
Hey, I don't have a bucket to put coins in, Scott.
No, I know. I don't either, really. I fake it, but here, I'll do one because I said it earlier. There. See, look at that coin that I put in the bucket that's clearly in front of me here that no one can see.
You should take a bunch of your poker chips and throw them in a bucket, and then when it gets full, you give them away to somebody.
Oh, that's a great idea. I have some right here. Whole bunch of them right here. Should give some of these away. In fact, part of that package that Aaron won today will include some poker chips.
Oh,
so
nice.
it's going to be very exciting. Anyway, hey, one final note. Turns out there's more Dresden Files television coming. I know these books are beloved by those who read them, and the previous series was also beloved by those who watched it, and then the series went away. Well, I mean, they had its fans. People are into it.
Yeah, it was 13 episodes. I know Tom and Veronica both enjoy the heck out of the Dresden Files. Fox, 21st Studios Fox has optioned the rights to the Dresden Files for a TV series development. Option does not mean it's going into production. In fact, Jim Butcher went to his Twitter and said, "Don't believe everything you read on the internet, kids." Not saying that the Deadline.com report is wrong, but don't think that just because something is optioned means it's greenlit for a TV show.
Yeah. Should I read these books? Chat room seems to think they're amazing. I keep
They
hearing
are
that.
good. They are really good. I blew through all of the books over the course of a year and a half, just one right after the other. And I'd listen to them on audiobooks, so when I'd go for a walk, I'd just be drilling through these things.
Yeah.
The most recent one, Briefcases, is a bunch of short stories, but it's one that I wouldn't just jump into because you won't have context for who all the characters are in the stories. But Briefcases is really good and contains a brand new original short story called 1 Hour, which is just brilliant in its execution and how it's written.
Wow, I get it now. Briefcases, they're short cases.
Yes.
Cases.
He is Chicago's only practicing wizard detective.
All right. Harry Dresden. Someone else in the chat was saying it would be cool if Nathan Fillion's latest cop project doesn't work out, he could maybe be Harry Dresden. That'd be all right. I could see that.
Be interesting.
Yeah.
Dresden is really tall. I don't know. Nathan Fillion comes off as tall and bulky. Dresden is described as kind of tall and skinny.
So, Incredible Sauce, it says the first Dresden book is the weakest. Should I skip something? Should I skip
No,
to 2?
you probably need to read it so you have a kind of an idea, but just understand that it's about before the third book before things really start picking up and you start developing the mythology.
Okay. But you think worth doing that?
It's worth. I mean, it took me a long time to get through the first book and the second book.
Yeah.
The first one is about, vampires and mafia and hits and all those kinds of things. The second book is, I believe, the werewolf book. But then after you get outside of that, things really pick up, and it's really, really good.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out. That'll be my next thing. I'm finishing up a couple of fantasy books that I need to get through, and then I think that'll be the next thing I read. Well done. All good as always. And if you want more of this, head on over to majorspoilers.com, wherein you'll find these and many other great things to check out, read, watch, and whatever. Stephen, anything on the site in particular people should keep their eye on?
If you are a fan of the Legion of Superheroes, that's a DC Comics group of teenage heroes in the future, we've been doing a podcast for over a year now called the Legion Clubhouse. The brand new episode just came out last week, and we talk about one of the Legion of Superheroes' greatest foes, the Fatal Five. You can find more of that by checking out the Legion Clubhouse on the Apple Podcasts or over at majorspoilers.com.
Sounds good to me. Steven Schleicher, everybody. Major Spoilers on Twitter. We'll talk to you later.
Stay hydrated.
Bye. He has a catchphrase.
He does. I like that, too.
Yeah, I do, too. I think that's great.
That's a good one.
Everybody should have a catchphrase. All right, here comes the next one. Still can't mute the sound because Skype freaking sucks. Hey, Daryl, how's it going?
Oh, it's good.
Good. Here's this.
Hello, and welcome to Star Trek Adventure.
It's kind of fruity, isn't it?
It is fruity. It's Daryl Skeels, all the way from Seattle, Washington, here with us once again to talk about what's going on in the world of Star Trek. What's going on? Is there anything going on right now? What's happening?
There's very little. But we can say that actress Hannah Spear is to play Saru's Kelpian sister, Serena, in season 2.
Okay, Saru is the guy we like. It's
Doug Jones.
Doug Jones, right? He's the character everyone loves. I'm trying to look at. She's got a good weird face for this. Like she's weirdly super slender, tall, long face. That's good. That's what you want in your.
Why the long face?
Yeah. For my role on Star Trek. Well, that's fantastic. Thanks, Daryl. We'll talk to you next week. All right, there he is. I just had to do it because there's nothing else going on. He's the Trek Nerd on Twitter, everybody. You can follow him there and make fun of how poorly I treated him today.
Just being funny.
Just being a hoot. All right,
Daryl's listening now and scratching his head or cursing us out.
It's all right. We got it all done before he had one of his meetings next to his cubicle or whatever. It all worked out. All right, we have a mashup to play today. This is from Jamie.
Yay!
He has made one from episode 1576 through 1578. It is called The Little Mermaid, and I'm playing it for you now. Ooh, it smells good coming out.
Oh, yeah, it does. There's no way that'll end up in a mashup.
Watiti, what's his name?
Tiki Wakatiti.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the smaller Kanga in Winnie the Pooh. The bigger one's called Kanga, and the smaller one's called Roo. I'm going to slowly eat this dripping fried egg hamburger.
Yeah. Shug J. Knight, son of Marion Shug Knight. Also, he named his kid Shug. All right.
Shug Jr.
That's fine.
Splenda. Just call him Splenda. Nutrishug.
Nutrishug. I like it.
I want to have a chandelier. I staged my own death.
Yeah.
People haven't seen me at the Oscars for like 8 years.
I haven't seen me at a Lakers game in forever. It's like a coffee. You can't go on your day without a big snort of meth. Excuse me. Hey, let's move on.
Sure.
We're going to be done.
That'll be on a mashup, I think.
Probably. Well, anyway, keep it like a geyser as the Red Hot Pilly Cheppers.
Give it like a geyser. Give it away. Give it away. Give it away now.
Give it away your 8-inch straw. I'm not coming out. I hate you, Mom. That will fit in my mouth.
You don't realize that Susie horks boogers in her sleep, so please record that.
They were like, hey, we should put our genitals together. And then they got married. Do that because I put my finger in your hole.
This according to CNBC.
We keep young looking.
Right. How do you keep your skin so fresh? Oh, it's a pig semen. We soak in it.
Goodbye, Bedford Falls.
So,
Goodbye, Bedford Falls.
I'm not going to find out what my son's going to do.
It's not such a wonderful life, is it, Mary?
This is the worst life ever, and there's no black people in my world.
A song from The Little Mermaid, where the Little Mermaid can't remember the names of anything because she's a big idiot. This is the song part. What do you call them? Oh, feet.
I forgot about your hot take on Little Mermaid's.
Yeah, it's exactly. Could be controversial. I don't know.
Yeah, no kidding. Daryl, by the way, wants me to tell everybody he sent a text. He doesn't really get the joke that we cut him off early because there was nothing to talk about. He says he wanted to also chime in that Hilda is great. So another vote for Brian to watch Hilda.
Fine. Better or worse than Disenchanted?
Better than anything currently animated on Netflix, I would say.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, it's also very, very different than Enchanted. Wow. It's really good. I know I've said that. I'll say it again.
Yes.
Hey, there's somebody.
I'm all over it.
Is this the Diary Gamers guy in German? I'm banning
Russian
him.
bot. Russian bot.
You
Too
are
much
Russian
hassle.
bot.
Too much hassle putting link down.
I'm going to ban you, and I'm going to time you out. That's what I'm going to do. See you later. All right.
Oh.
He has.
What video features Mario and Illidan from World of Warcraft?
Yes. Who knows what will happen?
Maybe some sort of Charmander and green woman holding mushroom.
Sorry, she is in other castle. That's exactly it. Oh yeah, I heard BoJack Horseman's pretty good. I haven't seen it though. I am sci-fi. I haven't watched it yet. Mm-hmm. But boy, do you want to watch a thing that'll just make you cringe but also laugh super hard? Big Mouth. That's the one.
Okay. All right. I just added both of them to my. Well, I added Hilda to my list last week, but
yeah. You know what you're gonna like? Remember the last season of Fargo, and it had Vargas in it, the guy who played Harry Potter's teacher in season 3.
Yeah.
What is his name? I can't think of his name.
His name is Thulis.
Thulis.
David
Thulis. He plays a character in the second season of Big Mouth called the what is it? The Shame Wizard.
Okay.
And it's brilliant. The Shame Wizard is freaking brilliant. So
really? All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
You should watch that. I like Disenchanted. I think people give it too hard of a time. It's different than Simpsons and it's different than Futurama, and I think that's good because I want something that's not the same as those other two things, and I think it has its own charm. I think it's fine
for sure.
It's a lot of good animated stuff, and I keep hearing the Airbender people made something new for Netflix.
Yes, somebody recommended that to me. Joe recommended that to me on the podcast show, and I can't remember what it was called.
Dragons,
something Dragons, yeah.
Dragon Son of the Dragon, Dragon Man,
Bold Dragons of Imagination,
Dragon Prince.
Dragon Prince.
That's it. Artemis, you are correct. And yes, Doc Medpot, the Blue Waffle episode of Big Mouth is both hilarious and kind of awful.
Oh God! Okay.
Oh my gosh!
All
There's
right.
a scene.
God, I'm so intrigued.
It's the
I
kind
gotta
of
finish
show.
Titans and
it's the kind
gotta
of
catch
show,
up on my CW superhero stuff.
There's a scene where a girl. I mean, this will just give you an idea. There's a scene in there where a girl. Her name's Jessie in the show. They're all played by adults, but they're all like prepubescent little kids from junior high, or they're just turning 11 and 12 or something. And that's kind of what the show's whole main thrust is. Everyone's trying to deal with puberty and what it means and everything. And this girl has like a full-on conversation with her vagina. And I don't just mean remotely. I mean like It's hard to explain. You just have to see it. It's really hard to explain. Anyway, there's that. Hey, we're done. Let's get out of here. Before we go, a quick note that if you like this show, and I know many of you do, and you're just sitting on that $1 a month you could be spending for it, head on over to patreon.com/TMS and just throw it our way. I mean, it's $1. It's the cheapest thing you're ever going to spend money on. We do shows like 5 days a week. My gosh. It's insane what we've done to ourselves. So head on over there and make it just a little less of a pain that we screwed up when we started this thing. Patreon.com/TMS. That's where you do it. You can find everything else you need at frogpants.com/TMS. And if you'd like to vote on today's show titles and you're currently present in the chat room or otherwise listening live, you can go to frogpants.showbot.tv and vote for your favorite title as suggested by those in the chat room. Okay, Brian.
Okay, Scott.
Song.
Lewis wrote in. He goes by the name One Sleepy Panda in the Tadpole. This one's a little bit late. I don't think we had a show that day or something, but
was that my UPS went dead day, probably?
Might have been. Yeah, might have been. It says, hey, Scott and Brian, this week I'm driving to Florida from New Jersey for my grandfather's funeral. I'll be taking the trip alone as my wife is quite pregnant and can't travel, so you guys are going to be keeping me company on the 17-hour drive. My grandfather's favorite band was the Rolling Stones, so any cover of or by them would be fantastic. P.S. F Cancer.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
No argument there.
Yeah.
Anyway, hope, obviously you've got to be back from your trip by now. Hope it went well, and know that we're thinking about you, and we were thinking of you that week when didn't get to your request. This is great. This is so cool. This comes from an album called Philharmonia, and it is the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra doing covers. Came out in 1998, but they've got guest vocals working with them. So on this track, you're going to hear Mike Batt, who is, I want to say he is, let's see. I guess he discovered Katie Malua. He created the Wombles. I thought he was a little bit more involved in the rock scene. He's not. But the vocalist you're going to hear is Mark Almond, who, if you don't recognize him by name, he's the lead singer of the band Soft Cell, who, of course, had the big hit with another cover, Tainted Love. Here is Mark Almond and the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra with our cover of the Rolling Stones' Paint It Black.
See you guys tomorrow.